Transcript. The rain had just stopped when I saw her standing by the old wooden gate that led to the field behind my grandfather's house. Her small frame looked fragile against the gray sky, her hair damp, sticking to her cheeks. But it wasn't the sight of her that stopped me. It was her eyes, tired, distant, and full of something I couldn't name. "Evelyn," I called out, my voice breaking the silence. She didn't turn right away. She just stood there, one hand resting on the gate as if it were the only thing holding her up. Then slowly she looked at me and smiled. That small, worn-out smile I hadn't seen in years. "You came," she said softly. Evelyn was my mother's best friend. When I was little, she used to bake me cookies and braid my hair while humming songs from the radio. But life had not been kind to her. After her husband passed, she stayed in that lonely farmhouse at the edge of town. My mom visited her often until the day she didn't wake up herself. After Mom's funeral, I lost touch. I couldn't bear the reminders of home, of loss, of everything I'd left behind when I moved to the city. Yet here I was again, years later, returning because Evelyn had called me 2 days ago. Her voice had been weak but steady. "Could you come by just once more?" she'd asked. "There's something I need to tell you." So I drove 6 hours through the rain. And now, standing there by that gate, I realized she looked older than I remembered, smaller even. I walked toward her, trying to smile. "You shouldn't be out here in this weather," I said, reaching for her hand. But she shook her head. "No, this is where it started," she whispered. "This gate. This is where your mother and I used to wait for the bus to town. Every Friday we'd dream about life beyond this place, about who we'd become." Her gaze drifted to the horizon where the clouds had begun to part. "Funny how you spend half your life wanting to leave," she said, "and the other half wishing you could go back." We stood in silence for a moment, the sound of wet leaves crunching underfoot. "I thought you wanted to tell me something," I said gently. She nodded, then reached into her coat pocket. Her trembling hand pulled out a small folded letter, its edges soft and worn. "This was meant for you," she said. "Your mother wrote it before she passed. She asked me to keep it safe until you were ready." My throat tightened as I took the letter. The paper smelled faintly of lavender, Mom's favorite scent. My hands shook as I unfolded it. In her familiar handwriting, it read, "My darling, if you're reading this, it means you've come home. I know you've been searching for something out there, answers, purpose, maybe even peace. But the truth is, home isn't a place you find. It's something you carry, in every act of kindness, in every promise kept, in every heart you choose not to turn away from. So when life asks you to move on, promise me you'll do it with love, not regret." Tears blurred the ink. I couldn't breathe. I looked up at Evelyn, who smiled through her own tears. "She wanted you to live," she said softly, "not to keep looking back." A gust of wind swept through the gate, creaking it open. Evelyn turned toward it, her eyes glimmering with something deeper, acceptance. "I'm leaving too, you know," she said suddenly. "Doctor says it won't be long now. But before I go, I wanted to see you to make sure you read her words. She'd want you to remember her with love, not pain." I stepped forward, my voice trembling. "Don't talk like that. You're not." She raised a gentle hand. "It's all right. We all have to go sometime. But promise me something, child." Her eyes met mine, steady, warm. "If you go, promise you won't look back." I didn't understand then, but I do now. That night, after I tucked her into bed, Evelyn passed away in her sleep peacefully with that same faint smile on her face. The letter rested on her nightstand beside a framed photo of her and my mother laughing in front of that same gate decades ago. I buried her beside Mom beneath the old oak tree behind the house. And when I turned to leave, I heard her words echoing in the wind. "If you go, promise you won't look back." For the first time in years, I didn't. Not out of coldness or indifference, but because I finally understood. Looking back doesn't bring them closer. Living forward with love does. A few weeks later, I sold my apartment in the city and moved back to the countryside. I reopened Evelyn's bakery, kept her recipes alive, and named it the Gatehouse. Every morning when the sun spills through the fields, I see the gate in the distance and I smile because that's where love still waits. Not to hold me back, but to remind me where I came from and how far I've come. Moral. Sometimes love asks us to let go, not because it's over, but because it wants us to live. And when you walk forward with kindness in your heart, you never really leave anyone behind. I found her waiting by the gate, and she whispered, "If you go,